on that, raise it to bacteria full mouth, and I'm a dead man. Holy mackerel, these things are fast. Now I'm in trouble. These guys are so tenacious. They get on the scent. They don't stop for anything. Normally when I'm on a mission like this, it takes me weeks to find the animals that I'm looking for. In this case, it's just the other way around. It seems like the animals are more interested in finding me.
Ever since I can remember, I've been interested in dangerous and exotic wildlife. But for the past 10 years or so, I've earned my living from photography. Traveling from my home in southern Africa to the ends of the earth to photograph some of the rarest and deadliest creatures in the world. It's said this creature has the worst breath known to man. A stealth-like monster with a morbid attraction for rotting flesh. This is the Komodo dragon, the largest lizard in the world. My mission is to find the most aggressive dragon males and photograph them doing battle to win a mate. The only place you can find Komodo dragons today is on an archipelago of 5 small, very remote islands in the far east of Indonesia, most of which fall within the boundaries of Komodo National Park. My journey starts in Flores, a small island with a turbulent past, a rocky outpost lying at the eastern reaches of Komodo National Park. Flores, like most Indonesian islands, was formed by a conspiracy of nature. A cataclysmic explosion of molten lava erupted out of the sea 70 million years ago and formed the bizarre and utterly inspiring landscape we see today. This place teems with weird and exotic animals. I can't wait to find them. This place is magnificent. What's most exciting to me is that just recently they've discovered the bones of a dwarf race of people who used to frequent these caves. At the same time, they discovered the bones of Komodo dragons in these caves. So it's reasonable to assume that these giant lizards came face to face with these tiny people. The question is, did the people hunt the dragons or did the dragons hunt the people? At this time of year, June, male Komodo dragons are at their most aggressive, stirred by the primeval urge to find a mate. Males engage in violent, macho rituals of bloody battle to prove dominance. Getting close to fighting dragons is going to be dangerous. The price I must pay to get a winning photo. My senses are heightened by the screams of macaques. Somewhere close by, a dangerous predator might be on the prowl. Heard something that sounded like monkeys, like macaques. Often when there's macaques around or some monkeys, you'd have some Asian movement. There is something over there. It's quite big. If it's a snake, it's a big snake. If I can get up there really quick, I could have a look. Maybe I'm lucky. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a snake. It's a big snake. It's a reticulated python. I'll just get up quick before she realizes. I've got it. I've got it. This is a tremendous snake, a most powerful snake of all the snake species. Wow. You know, normally a python this size, what I'd say this is about 13, 14 foot, wouldn't be a problem at all. But a reticulated python is completely different. They are the most powerful snakes. It's got my arm here, I can't even get it out. And I cannot, under any conditions, let her get near my neck. Look at this, I can't get my arm out of here. I'm going to have a problem with the snake. That's for sure. The thing is, these snakes get bigger than any other snake in the world, up to 30 foot, even more. They've got about 100 teeth in the mouth, capable of biting a tremendous bite and hooking onto their prey and pulling it in and constricting it. to get any. I can't get my arm out. If I can just get my arm out there. Wow. She's got my legs so tight. Come on, snake. This snake's called a reticulated python for the reason of this pattern on its body. Reticulated means net pattern. If you're in the sunshine, the body is beautiful. It's got an iridescent glow in the sun, lots of colors, purples and yellows and browns. Okay, so in this area where I am, looking for Komodo dragons, it's pretty obvious that these tropical jungles are full of all kinds of giant animals. And in areas where people haven't encroached, where they've been free of the exploitation of people, these snakes get big, 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 just like the Komodos have been able to keep their size. But I'm gonna have to let the snake go, because look at this, can you see my arm? She's cut off the blood supply. I can't even feel my arm anymore, it's gone dead, and I don't think I'm gonna get my arm out of here. Let me just, she's so strong, you cannot believe it. That's why you can understand a large reticulated python is one of the few snakes in the world that can actually kill and swallow a human being. I'm gonna try and loosen my arm. I've got so much pressure on my arm. And the more she calls, the more problem I've got. You can imagine if a snake like this got around your neck, there's not a single thing you can do. And this is a baby, I promise you it's a baby. A snake can get 3-4 times this size. There, I got it out. Okay, I'm gonna hook her up on the tree, try and turn it around. Put her back exactly where I found her if I can. Wow, that was fantastic luck. Finding a big snake like that way up here on the cliff face. Great stuff.
Incredible. It's a lizard. But is it my first Komodo dragon? This cave is a primeval paradise full of surprises.
Look at the strength of this guy. Oh! I've got him. Oh, look at that. Oh, yes. Oh, he's really mad at me now. These are water monitors, actually. They're fantastic predators, and you find them all over these islands. Not only on the land, but in the water as well. It's incredible. They'll actually swim in the sea and go and catch food. Look at these claws. Powerful claws, ready to grab onto anything, hold onto it, and he's got all these teeth in the mouth. He will bite onto something and actually rip it to pieces. And that's very much like the Komodo dragons that I'm after. Of course, the Komodo... Here he goes! He's trying to get away, he's trying to get into his hole, and I just wanted to have a good look at him first. So these guys are just like Komodo dragons. They're like a miniature Komodo dragon. Komodo dragons, of course, much, much bigger, 3 meters in length sometimes, but similar design. And these guys also take carrion, just like a Komodo will. Sometimes you'll find a dozen of these guys wrapped around a turtle or dead turtle or some dead animal on the beach, and they have teeth that can rip the meat out so they can break it into small chunks and actually swallow it down piece by piece so they don't have to kill the whole animal, which is quite unusual because a lot of the reptiles have to swallow small animals and swallow them whole. But these guys, unlike the Komodos, have this fantastic advantage, razor-sharp teeth that can rip pieces of meat out. And of course, in defense like this, lets you have it with a tail. It's just a warning, get away. And if you haven't got boots on like I got now, you'll have red and blue stripes across your legs, I tell you. God, boy. But you just mustn't get near that mouth. That mouth can let you have it, and if it hangs on to there, it'll shred your finger.
The Komodo dragon is a close relative of the water monitor. Both belong to the family Varanidae. The Komodo dragon is, of course, much bigger, weighing up to 200 pounds and reaching lengths of 10 foot plus. I'm very nervous about coming face to face with this super predator, whose razor-sharp, salivating jaws are laden with deadly bacteria. But that's what I'm here to do, to photograph the incredible moments when male Komodo dragons are at their most aggressive, the time they do violent and frenzied battle to prove dominance and win a mate. I'm on Flores Island in Indonesia, one of the only 5 islands in the world where you can find Komodo dragons. I'm heading west to Labuan Bajo, a bustling fishing port known as the gateway to the lair of the Komodo dragon. Flores is famed for fantastic stories of hobbit-like people and fairy tale giants. Komodos exist in small and fragmented populations here,
But to stand any real chance of photographing the world's biggest dragons, I need to take a boat to visit the nearby islands of Komodo National Park, the area this great lizard takes its name from. I'm picking up some provisions to help me get through the next 3 weeks' journey to the land of the dragon. I've been told the market is a good place to meet someone who can arrange a boat to take me to Komodo National Park, the only place I have a real chance of finding dragons.
Yeah? How much you want for this? How much is that?
Excuse me, friend.
Yes.
This is the magic stick for
Yeah,
Komodo.
yeah, my dragon stick. You know the stick?
Yeah, I know.
For the big lizards, yeah? Yeah, it's my dragon stick.
Yes.
The fishermen must have seen my magic stick. They say this design, carried by all the park rangers, is imbued with special powers. All I know is that it's my only line of defense between me and the jaws of a hungry dragon.
I need a boat to go there.
Yes, I have a boat.
You have a boat?
Good boat.
Okay. Can you show me?
Yes, I.
Sure.
I'm delighted to have made a friend who can organize a boat to get me to the fabled islands of Komodo National Park. I'm excited. This is real adventure in an incredible place.
This way, friend.
Comparatively little is known about these extraordinary creatures. I can't wait to discover more. Here on Flores, they've proved difficult to find. They avoid contact with people. But where I'm heading is truly a dragon's lair, ruled by the biggest lizards on the planet.
Are these people, are they good with the boats? Are they good seamen?
They have a lot of experience for sailing.
Because there's a lot of bad currents here.
Yes.
Boats get washed away, people drown. I don't want to die now, eh?
You don't want to die, yeah?
I'm heading into the middle of nowhere, and I'm not sure what lies ahead. Here be dragons, are the foreboding words of warning that intrepid explorers once scrawled on their maps when first exploring these uncharted waters. Those that didn't drown in the treacherous currents or get eaten by dragons went home and told fantastic stories of giant man-eating creatures. They were brave, those pioneers, and I share their fear. 36 hours into my adventure, and I'm nearing my first port of call, Rincha, one of only 5 islands in the world today where you can still see the Komodo dragon, the world's biggest and most dangerous lizard. I'm heading for Cannibal Rock, a famous landmark, so named after a diver witnessed a massive Komodo dragon devouring one of its kind.
This is what I call real adventure. Just look at this place. It's like something prehistoric. All these scattered islands, half the time you don't even know where you are.
The area I'm actually heading for now is called Cannibal Rock. I thought I'll make that my starting point. It sounds so fantastic. Apparently someone there at one time saw a giant Komodo about 3 meters plus actually attack a smaller Komodo and eat it up, which is something these guys do because they can be cannibalistic and they're such powerful predators, they take on anything. So I thought I might as well start there. Actually a little bit worried about this whole expedition because these lizards are something different. They are so big that I can't physically take them, can't take onto one, can't pick him up, examine him and study the animal. I have to stay my distance because they are so big they can actually eat me up. I have to have what they call a magic stick, a stick with a fork on the end, which gives you distance between these animals and your only chance to hold them away from you if they're actually coming for you. So I'm cleaning this one up for myself. This is an animal I've got to be very wary of. I'm hoping I haven't bitten off more than I can chew. The water here is gorgeous. It offers some of the best diving in the world. I can't wait to cool off from the blistering heat of the midday sun. Beauty has its peril. The waters here harbor deadly fish and snakes. Get stung by a stonefish and the pain alone will kill you. Komodo dragons are frighteningly fast swimmers. Where it's come from or where it's going, I have no idea. I'm just doing my best to keep up. Swimming across the sea is possibly how these giant lizards got to these Indonesian islands in the first place. Komodos are the closest living relatives of a massive 6-meter lizard that lived in Australia 40,000 years ago, a monster called Megalania.
Is that incredible? I was right under the water and I saw the shadow go past. And I wasn't sure what it was. That lizard with his legs tucked back, swimming like an eel. Incredible. And I just tried to catch up. He just keeps ahead of me. And he didn't turn to go for me, he just kept an eye on me all the time. And I thought I'd just swim with this guy. It's incredible, swim with a Komodo dragon. I don't know where he's going, but I'm going to go up to the beach and have a look. See if I can follow him for a while. What an experience. Incredible opportunity. I mean, I don't know where that lizard comes from, but he probably came from one of the other islands. Some scientists believe these guys can smell for 8 or 10 kilometers. So if there's some carrion on this, a dead carcass or something, he may have picked up the scent of that and he's come all the way to just get hold of that. And I'm right here, I'm right behind him. I'm going to see if I can follow him and see what's going on. It's a dragon feed. Look at this. You could smell this. There's a dead carcass over here. God, I haven't got my camera with me, I've got nothing with me. I haven't even got my dragon stick with me, my magic stick. So I just jumped off the boat. And I really like to get really close. This is something I've been imagining that I might be lucky enough to see. Looks like a carcass has been here for a few days because it's pretty tall, pretty bloated. Look at the head's going right inside the carcass. See the head's going right in the carcass. And now how close I can get. I don't want to get too close. This is fantastic. It's so frustrating. I haven't got my camera here. I'm more worried about not having my magic stick because I come too close and one of these guys give me a go. I'm going to have to ward him off. The only thing I can do is run for the sea. Look at them. They got their heads right in there. This is incredible. I mean, these guys pick up the scent probably from kilometers away. That one guy I was following, he came right across the ocean. He might have been on a different island and he still picked up the scent. They're pulling out the guts now. They're such vicious, carnivorous animals, they would tackle anything. And this is ideal. This animal may have been dead for a couple of days. You don't know how, it may have died from natural causes, or maybe a dragon bit it. This is exactly why these animals have so much bacteria in their mouths. From eating carrion like this, old rotting meat. You know, some scientists have worked out they've got maybe 70 or more different types of bacteria in the mouth. Some of that bacteria is deadly. So even if they've tackled an animal that's too big to bring down, just the bite is enough to poison that animal. And the animal might wander off for days or maybe a week or so and then finally drop dead from septicemia. Then the dragons close in on him again and find him and start ripping him to pieces. It's quite a frightening scene when you see the feeding frenzy here because they lose their minds completely. They just smell food and they just climb in there and they start eating. There'll probably be nothing left of this afterwards. Their digestive juices are capable even of digesting the bones and even the hooves and horns of an animal like this. This guy's coming too close, getting a bit worried. Oh, he's just swallowing down, but he's looking at me. This is really close. I wouldn't like him to take a go at me because I wouldn't be able to get away. I'm coming this way. Uh-oh. Might be time for me to leave.
Seeing these voracious predators tearing flesh like this, I'm faced with the reality of my mission to photograph males in violent combat to win a mate. These are babies compared to the much bigger, much more powerful male dragons I'm still to discover.
Bye. Bye. I'm sorry I was so busy with the dragons I stayed the whole afternoon. Have you got my kit for me? Please.
It's good to come back to the welcoming glow of the squid fisherman's lamps. I know I must leave them now and go it alone in my search to find the dragon before it finds me.
Thanks so much.
guys have been great to me, eh? Thanks for your help, eh? Okay, keep well. See you later. I don't relish the thought, stuck out here on Cannibal Rock, miles from help, that these killer creatures are all around me. It's incredible to think they can sense my presence from miles away. I'm in Indonesia in search of the Komodo dragon. I've dreamed of photographing them since I was a kid. To my mind, it's one of the most awesome animals on the planet. It's spooky walking here, knowing Komodo dragons are everywhere. Ambush predators that lie in wait to pick off prey like deer and even water buffalo, 5 times their size. Look at this, have a look at this. Can you see this? The perfect camouflage you've got here, but this is different. This is a little tree viper, but it's actually a green tree viper. I've got to be careful because he is a little viper. And he can strike quite quickly. There, I got him. And he's quite a friendly little guy. Hello. Isn't he gorgeous? Look at that. He's actually a blue color. They are normally a bright green color. But it's exactly the same snake. It's just that it's a different color morph. You find this among some snakes sometimes. It can be the same species in the same area, but sometimes they have different color variations. There's no actual explanation for this. But he's pretty as anything. Look at that. Let's get his tail untwined here. Now, they're quite fast striking snakes. You've got to be careful. It is a little pit viper, so he can strike very accurately as well. See the nostrils, and in between the eye and the nostril you actually see the little pit, the heat receptor. There while he's sticking his tongue out very clearly too. Maybe you can see that. So he has the ability to focus on his prey even if he can't see his prey. He can actually focus on his prey even in the dark. Those heat receptors tell him exactly any heat changes that come close by. It might be a little mouse, it might be something else, and he would strike towards it quite accurately. The fangs are quite large, like all vipers. He's got a fang folded up. Oh, look at that, he's opening his mouth. Oh, look at that. He says, I'm going to bite this guy if he doesn't let go of my tail. Their fangs fold up against the roof of the mouth, so that enables him to have quite a large fang, probably about 1 centimeter long, these guys. And the venom is fairly toxic. It's a cytotoxic, hemotoxic, a sort of a blood-destroying, tissue-destroying combination. Probably not deadly to an adult human being for a snake this size, but not something you want to get bitten by. I mean, that venom could cause a lot of pain and maybe some necrosis as well. And these guys get a little bit bigger than this. They get up to about 2.5 foot, and a snake like that would give quite a nasty bite. Let me see if I can get a few pictures of that head just like that. You're going to stay there for me? Oh, I'm going to kill that camera. Oh, I'm furious. Oh, fantastic. Look at that. He's looking straight at the camera. He's gorgeous. There he goes. There he goes. Reaching up the tree. Look at him. Look at him use his body. Watch that. Look at that smooth movement. Isn't that incredible? Watch him go. Fantastic. Off you go, boy. Exposed on my own out here in the middle of nowhere, I torment myself with stories I've heard. Like the case in 1974, when a Swiss baron lay down for a quick nap in the shade, only to wake in the jaws of a dragon. The only trace that was left of him was a bloody shoe and his camera. I've often wondered whether he got any good shots before he was eaten. I've been waiting for this moment. The first time in my life I've got my hands on a dragon.
I got our first Komodo dragon. The first one I found. Look at this. Oh, and he wants to go. He just wants to take off like mad.
Okay, and I must not get bitten by this guy because we don't know. At this age, he's already starting to take carrion and small bits, small animals and stuff, so you don't know if he already is developing bacteria in that mouth. The nails are incredibly powerful. If I hold my finger under those nails, you can see they are incredibly sharp, razor-sharp little claws. And with those claws, he can catch onto any prey and hold onto it. And I'll show you. I'll put him on the rock, and he's going to try and get away. And just listen to how these claws grab on. Watch him go. Watch him. Listen to those claws. And you can pull as hard as you want, and you cannot let him go. Imagine if he digs into flesh with that. The fact that this guy has already reached this size and has come down from the trees is really a good sign, because most of these guys die long before this time. You know, in all the reptile world, only 1, 2, 3, maybe 4% of the animals actually survive to adulthood. Well, it was really good having a look at this guy. See how I tilt him up, see how he bends his neck? Doesn't he look just like one of those little prehistoric dinosaurs? That's basically all he is. Look at that face. He's fantastic. He's just waiting to go, and I'm just going to put him on this rock and let him go. I'll just put him down and watch his claws climbing there. Oops! Fantastic. I've held my first juvenile Komodo dragon. But what I'm really after is the big boys. I want to photograph them fighting for a mate. They're out there. I know only too well. I'm in the heart of Komodo National Park. 5 isolated islands of stark beauty lying in the far east of the Indian Ocean. This region is home to the world's remaining population of Komodo dragons. They're out there somewhere and I've got to find them. I'm here to photograph males doing titanic battle to win access to a female. The monsoon rains came late this year, and I'm here in an unusually lush June. What an awe-inspiring landscape. A fantastic place to see wildlife. Where sea eagles fish, there's often people fishing. In this part of the world, fishermen are always good for a boat. I'm hoping these men can take me to new territories. I've explored this island and haven't found what I'm looking for. The biggest lizard on the planet, all 10 feet of it. These gentlemen look like they may have spent a little too much time in the sun.
Hi. Hi. I'm looking for Komodo dragons. Yeah? You know, the big lizard, yeah? Yeah, 2 meters or more, bigger. I want to take pictures, yes? Yeah. You know Komodos, big ones? Yes, yes. Big Komodos, you know them? With the nets. Yeah, with the claws. I can go on this boat. I can go with him.
These people look more dangerous than Komodo dragons. A ramshackled boat like this, taking 5 men 40 miles across some of the most treacherous waters on the planet. Crazy. The fishermen are taking me to their home, a place aptly named Komodo Village, an area reputed to hold the very biggest dragons in the world. This village is reputed to have been established as an island prison for criminals, banished in disgrace during the 1800s, and left to fend for themselves against man-eating dragons. It's good to be here for a spell in civilization. It's incredible coming out of this sort of semi-isolation I've been in, seeing all this activity, these villages packed with people. Plenty of dragon food as well. I've been told that dragons have dug up human corpses from these villages' ancestral graves. Before I got here, I was told the story of a child being eaten by a dragon, a spine-chilling reminder of the power of these animals, the only man-eating lizard on the planet.
Nice place to sleep maybe, you know? Something. Yeah, because I'm tired.
The chief has found me a bed for the night. Here I can build up some strength before continuing my quest to find fighting dragons.
Hey, this is your wife. Hello, thank you.
It's great to be in such good company. The hospitality is warm and generous.
You catch this fish in the sea, you catch it? Yeah. That's fantastic. Huh? No supermarkets, yeah, you go straight to the ocean. That's very nice. It's good, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay? You hear him? He lives in the house? I can look? It's okay? I can hear him. That's a big gecko. It's definitely a tokay gecko. I mean, these things live in houses, they live all over the place, but it's not easy to find them. Not easy to find them because they can duck behind any little place. Very hard. I mean, he could go right up into the rooftop. Their sound, the voice carries so much. Yeah, I got him. I've got him. You know, it's okay, yes. Yeah. Look at that. Hey, look at that. Hey, you gotta watch out for the teeth. Yeah. Tokays can bite. Whoa. Be careful of that. Well, you want to try? You can bite, eh? You can bite, yeah. On his nose. No. It's incredible, you know, Tokay gecko, it's probably the second biggest gecko in the world. Look inside the mouth, you can see the red tongue right in front, a bright red tongue over there. You can't miss that. Okay, and surrounded on both sides, you've got about 50 teeth in each jaw over there, and they razor sharp. When he grabs onto something, if he grabs onto my finger, he rips to the side like it. They always jerk to the side, and he can rip your finger, he can shred it. And when he grabs his prey, he just grabs it with these powerful jaws and gobbles it down straight away. He doesn't use his claws as a Komodo would, for instance, to hang on to something. He just swallows it all down in one go. This guy could take something as big as a small mouse, no problem at all. At the same time, they're gorgeous, they're beautiful. I mean, just look at the markings on this guy. Red and blue dots, you've never seen anything like that. And the other thing that you must notice about these guys, it's the most beautiful thing in the whole world. If you could get a close look at this eye, it's like a golden orb. Their eyes are absolutely incredible, and they're very large eyes, and they see very well in the dark. And of course, geckos climb walls, they climb glass, even glass, I mean smooth glass face. This guy's got claws on the end of his toes. At the same time, he's got thousands of little microscopic hairs on those pads. Just the rough texture of the glass is enough for those hairs to grip on and take him up the surface. Really incredible animals. And like all geckos, they can lose their tails. If an animal grabbed onto his tail and bit there and pulled away, like a snake for instance, he would drop the tail and then he can escape. And of course he can regenerate that tail again. They get their name from their voice. That sound they make, Tokay. In the jungle you can actually hear it for a distance of about 2 kilometers. They're so loud, it's incredible. Tokay, Tokay.
Enough messing about with geckos. Time is running out. I've got to focus my energies on fighting male Komodo dragons. These battles only take place between May and August, and sometimes only last for a few fleeting moments. I'm hoping I'm in the right place at the right time to catch this exhilarating action on film. Over the past 3 weeks, I've been on assignment to photograph Komodo dragons. But I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Big male lizards fighting to win a mate.
Hang on. I see a lizard in the tree. Oh, it's a big lizard. Got him. God. It's difficult to get up there, but he's trying to scratch me. I've got to look at this. There we go. Look at that. Isn't he beautiful? I'll tell you what, if I was in any other part of the world and I saw a baby monitor up a tree, I'd probably just walk past and not pay too much attention because they're pretty common animals. But considering where I am, yeah, in the Komodo region, I had to have a look, and I'm dead right. See the size of this head in comparison to that body? And especially the nose. If you look at that nose, see how square that nose is? That's a baby Komodo dragon. Can you believe that? And this is something you don't find easily. These guys are very agile, very well camouflaged, and disappear like a shot. The thing is that the minute they leave the egg, once they hatch from the egg and they leave the nest immediately, they head for the nearest tree and get as high up as they can because they're terrified of being preyed upon. Even by their own parents, possibly. It can happen. Komodo dragons are such ferocious meat eaters. Anything that moves attracts their attention, and they go for it, and they might even eat their babies. So the best thing this guy can do is shoot to the top of the tree and stay up there. In fact, they probably spend the first year, maybe even 2 years of their lives, mostly up in trees, where they feed on smaller stuff like insects, maybe little geckos, and maybe occasionally even little snakes. Looking at the pattern on the body here, a lot of little specks over here, changing color from very yellow over here, going to brighter orange over here. It's a perfect camouflage, especially in trees like this where you have dappled sunlight. He's absolutely gorgeous. He's stunning. It's hard to believe that in a couple of years' time, as this guy starts growing, he increases his mass, and by the time he's maybe a dozen years old, he will have increased his mass hundreds of times to what he is here now, and become one of the most powerful predators on the earth. Absolutely unbelievable. Fantastic little animal. Well, I've just got to take some pictures of this little guy. It's probably the single only opportunity I'll ever have to see one. I want to let him go because he's going to run like mad, but I can just hold him on the rear end. Now, don't bite me.
one more picture. He's so gorgeous.
There we go, look at him climb. Oh, that's the way to go. Up and out.
Immediately heads for the topmost branches if he can. Safest place. I find it amazing. A baby dragon can grow nearly 1,000 times in size and become the predator that stalked myths and legends for eons. I've covered miles and I'm beginning to wonder whether I'm ever going to achieve my mission. I'm in the far eastern reaches of Indonesia in search of the infamous giant man-eating lizard, the Komodo dragon. I want to photograph males at their most ferocious, fighting to win the prize of a mate. I've been here 3 weeks and I'm beginning to feel frustrated. I still haven't found what I'm looking for, but I haven't lost hope.
Just look at that. I actually found some dragon feces. A dead giveaway, yeah, some dragon skin that I found in the feces. And what is more important is that I found dragon claws. That means this guy's cannibalized another dragon. I found some teeth too, but teeth are normal because dragons may lose their teeth and swallow them. But the claws, that's something unique.
I would say these are the remains of about a 5-foot dragon.
This means this guy's actually attacked and killed and eaten another dragon.
So somewhere in this area, I'm pretty sure I've got a 9-foot dragon, maybe 200 pounds plus. Seeing these remains of tooth and claw, clear evidence of cannibalism, I'm excited because I know big dragons must be very close at hand. Komodos have a limited home range of just a couple of square miles, and it's the right time of year for male dragons to enter ritual combat to prove dominance and find a mate. There's thought to be only one female to every 3 males on these islands, so competition is fierce. There's a lot at stake. Blood is usually drawn, and it's not unusual for the loser to sustain severe injuries, dislocated limbs and deep battle scars.
This is what I've been hoping to find. Big males dominating each other, trying to fight for dominance over females, territory.
Wow, look at that battle. Just look at those jaws opening on each other.
Listen to him hiss, can you believe that?
This is like a clash of titans. 2 males competing to prove their strength, power and dominance. It looks to me as if the battle has just begun. If they really go for it, I'm going to see some incredible behavior.
Head down again, yeah, they go. A lot of hissing and puffing.
They're angry. Any second now, I'm certain I'm going to get the shots I've spent weeks trying for.
He's taking him on the ribs. He's biting into his ribs and just on top of his arm. When their jaws slam shut on each other, you can actually hear it. It sounds like a hollow thud. One's moving out now. Now they're circling and coming back again. These guys just don't know when they've had enough. Head on head, look at that. Just getting their heads together. One opens the jaw. God, it's frightening when you see the 2 of them come together like you just see dust flying. But I'm getting incredible shots. Never imagined I'd get shots this close. Every time he looks at me, I get a bit worried. I'm not sure if he mistakes me for something else. Uh-oh, I better get out of here. This guy's not quite sure who's who, yeah?
What a magnificent creature. A prehistoric predator of mind-boggling power, driven by the primeval urge to find a mate. Mission accomplished. I've taken some fantastic photographs. Looking back at my adventures on these exquisitely beautiful islands, I can't help thinking of the uncertain future that lies ahead for the Komodo dragons. There are only about 5,000 of these animals left living wild on the planet today. I hope they're still around for our grandchildren to see.